What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm going to be doing a comparison between these two Electrolux canisters. On the left, we have my Electrolux Silverado Deluxe 1505. And then right on the right, we have the Electrolux Epic 6500 SR. So basically, there is definitely at least a 10-year gap between the year model of these canisters. That one was from the 80s, this one from the 90s. There were definitely a lot of changes here and there. As you can see, the 1505 was the last of this older style canister, the one that had the big power switch right here that's controlled by this nice big rocker switch before they switched to the button style switch, was kind of still a rocker switch in the 1521 models. And then the 2100 style came out, which was very similar to one on the Epic. They had the front button style power switch right here. And basically this style is basically nothing more than a facelift of the 2100. It's a little bit more streamlined. And the 6500 was the first to feature a fully electric hose compared to the old style, which actually this is a generic replacement, that had the external wire coming off the power brush and runs through a little plastic sheath where it gets connected up there. Where the Epic has no exposed wires. You will notice the upper handle right here is not original. That's because the hose is not original. It's from a later model that has the white and light gray upper handle. That's why it's not the same neutral gray as the machine, but that's not a major deal. And this one has all the attachments, whereas the Silverado didn't come with, well, actually it does come with attachments, I just don't have them on me right now. All it has was a couple extension wands and a bare floor tool, and that's about it. But if there's one thing that these do, in a way, share in common with, that's exactly the same, that's the power brush design. The PN5 over here, that's on the Silverado, was the first one of its kind to have this style setup with the unique L shape power brush. That was carried on through the PN6, and then later when it got into the Epic design, it basically revised everything so that all the wires are kind of tucked away, nothing and no cord is exposed. And another thing they do share in common with is the bags that they take. Let me see if I can't take the hose off the Silverado to kind of show you what's inside here. So here is the bag. This is an Electrolux style C bag. Definitely works very good with this HEPA cloth bag setup. And if we move over to the Epic, it uses the same style C bag. So yeah, these do take the same style bags. I remember the seller that sold me the Silverado, he gave me like nearly a year's supply worth of bags, because according to him, since this is so old, you can't find bags for it anymore. But that couldn't be any more wrong. You could, as long as these style C bags are still out, which definitely they are, you can still definitely buy them. So yeah, you can still buy bags even for these older models. I think the oldest ones you can get that take the style C bags is the Electrolux Super J, which was it was the 1205. That was the kind of baby blue colored of this version, with a little bit lower amperage motor that's not as powerful as this, and had the big style rocker switch like this does. And they do have unique blower ports right here. You just open this and you connect your hose right here to use it as a blower. Very interesting quirk on these. You can do it on the Epic too, but getting to this one's a little bit more a process, because you got to basically remove the back cover here, then remove the post filter, and that's how you can use the blower port on this. So now let's go ahead and put the back cover back on. And also on the power brushes, you do have your little reset buttons right here. The core design, the retract, still works. They do work very similar. As you can see, there is kind of a metal catch to where it catches on whatever position of the cord you leave it at. And the Epic is the same way. Just let it slowly, let it down slowly until, well, it eventually, it should catch somewhere. But this will probably do it a little bit better when the canister is in the down position. Right here is your little dirt selector valve, basically to set between coarse and fine dirt. Same on the Silverado, but it's controlled by this little rotary dial here. Pretty odd design. And your little check bag indicator right here. Check bag indicator is right there on the Epic. And let's go ahead and tip these guys back to show you the power brush. Here are the power brush, the brush rolls for these. As you can see, the underside of the PN5 has these little metal cages instead of the plastic ones on the Epic, which I think they eventually went to this, since I think later productions of the PN6 had this. And these two brush rolls that are in it, they will interchange. You see, this one has the later style brush roll with the W bristles, and the Silverado has the older style with the V-shaped bristles. In my opinion, as far as the cleaning performance goes, I do believe the old style brush roll agitates a bit better than the new style one. But the new style one grooms better and likely picks up more pet hair and a bunch of other dirt materials, especially on the surface, than this one does. Y'all can have your kind of debates, but that's just my opinion on these two brush rolls. But both work really good. So, anyway, there's not really that much else I have to say about these. Let's take these guys back up, except they have the same weird articulating rear wheels, which basically I think this is in place to help it push along high pile carpets. You have press down and the back wheels kind of articulate out. And the Epic actually does the same one. However, I think this one does it a little bit more easy than the Silverado does. Also, one thing, the neck on the Epic swivels, unlike the one on the Silverado. And I think the Epic 6000 that used the same style probably didn't swivel either. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and plug these guys in, and then I'll come back and we'll show you how they do in the versus test. So here's what I like to use. I like to use crushed up chips that have gone stale. This may not be the most ideal setup for a versus test, but this has seemed to work pretty good for me, so I like continuing to use it. So, but anyway, for starters, let's go ahead and do the Epic for the first round. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on. That's what it sounds like with the suction motor on. Now let's go ahead and turn the brush roll on. And show you the agitation. Some of it, not as much. Did leave a little bit behind. So now let's go ahead and move on to the Silverado. That's what it sounds like running. Now let's go ahead and turn the brush roll on for this. It has a different sounding brush roll motor. Than the newer style one. Did leave some behind. That was the little comparison and brief little test run and battle out between these two Electrolux canisters, the Silverado and the Epic 6500. In my opinion, I think the Epic with the newer style brush roll definitely picked up a little better. I'm not too sure whether it's because of the brush roll, but the Silverado definitely agitated better because it's got the older style brush roll. I imagine if I switched brush rolls around between power brushes, I think the Silverado probably would have cleaned a bit better. But then the Epic would probably out-agitate it. But you guys can vote which one you think cleaned better and which canister you like better overall. But I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video for now. I hope you've enjoyed this comparison and face-off between the Electrolux Silverado and Electrolux Epic. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.